There used to be this band, a KC local band called Pump Action Daisy, and their singer, guitar player, I don't remember his name, but to count in a song, I don't remember what the name of the song was, be like a 1-ins and a 2-ins and a 3-ins and a 4-ins, and then they just start playing. I'm like, that's kind of fucking cool, but it was early on. I didn't realize that not everything that everybody does is cool. Sometimes it's just fucking dumb. Kind of like me when I'm introing more. Like I'll like,
you want some more?
We love you guys. Thank you for coming out. You guys enjoying yourselves? Yeah. You guys want some more? Yeah. Good times. I got no show notes.
Do what?
No show notes over here. The agenda's not up yet. It's all right. You'll get to it. But I think before that even pops up, I'm ready to intro. How about you?
Hey, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get to it. Welcome, dear listener, to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Across the table for me is, well, we're going to have to go back to calling him Wizard Fingers tonight. He went through the gamut of technical difficulties. He learned how to speak Gremlin.
Yes.
Yeah, that was something. And how are you today, sir?
Better now.
Better now. Yeah, I heard you were having a rough episode with Ozzy earlier.
Oh yeah, the poor dude. I think he was just like constipated and had a hard nugget that he was trying to push on out. And
Hard Nugget. Now that's a band name. That's a fucking band name right
that's
there.
That's a metal band.
Yeah.
Or a punk band.
What did you say your guy's name is?
Hard Nugget.
Hard Nugget. Check and see. I don't know why I went foreigner with it. Anyway, tonight we're trying the J. Rieger Company Straight Bourbon Whiskey, bottled in Bond.
Very excited about this one.
Now this bottle's been tapped into, so I'm pretty sure you've tried this.
This was a birthday bottle.
Unless you wrestled this away from some street bum.
Nope, I have tried this. I've made a KC horse feather out of this, and it's very tasty. But we're not doing that tonight.
Not tonight. No. We are doing a couple cocktails, but before we get to those, we're gonna try a neat. We're gonna do a neat pour.
Yes, sir.
Now I don't know if your show notes will bring up these particular paragraphs. I was looking up on the way here some information on this straight bourbon whiskey from Rieger's, and it said as a bottled and bond spirit, this bourbon is held to a rigorous standard, including being made by one distiller at a single distillery in one season. At J. Rieger & Company, Kansas City's original distillery, that results in a unique expression of our location in the historic Electric Park District. The varied season, the aged barrels, even the vibrations of the trains passing by our front doors. Distilled from corn, rye, and malted barley, our bourbon was aged 6 years in our rick house and is our second offering of Rieger's Straight Bourbon Whiskey bottled in bond since J. Rieger & Company was reborn in 2014.
That's very cool.
So I thought that was... And then it goes on to give all, where it's available, the release date, the awards. This got the 2023 San Francisco World Spirits Competition, the double gold.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty cool. And it also got the gold in the 2023 Ascot Award. So this is award winning, much like that Jim Beam Black. But yeah, it's a beautiful bottle. I like the natural cork, the fucking topper. Whatever. It's dark wood.
So like a walnut or
looks walnut. Yeah, if it's like extra dark, unless they're topping these things off with mahogany. It's also got this cool sound. Hang on. It's got that cool sound.
Love it.
Oh wait, it's not natural cork. I thought it was natural cork.
That's all right though.
You can store this on its side if you want to. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I was very excited when I learned that this was their second offering since 2014 to do a bottled and bond bourbon. And they also released at the same time a bottled and bond rye. So the rye and the bourbon are kind of brother-sister offerings.
Yeah, definitely. It's got some cool stuff going on here on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and hit the reset button with these... Oh, shit. I shook it too hard. These coffee beans. I like doing that just in case I drank too much grape soda on the way here. I see your notes say it's got a golden brown color. I would agree with your notes. It smells so good. You got caramel. You got vanilla.
With all the different ones that we've tried and with all the different tasting notes that we've pulled for this, I think it's the first time that I've seen golden brown as a descriptor. It's usually amber.
Yeah, golden amber.
Honey. Yeah. Mahogany. Copper.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to get on the same page with their color descriptions. I'd call it a dark honey or an amber or a light, or what do they call it? Golden brown. You call it whatever. It's got legs. It knows how to use them. Little ZZ Top for you.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of caramel on the nose.
So on the nose of the West Bottoms Whiskey Company bourbon, you can smell like a light hint of that sherry cask that they're finished in.
Yep.
To me,
absolutely,
this has a lot more of that on the nose. Like you can pick up the sherry cask is like one of the major players on the nose. I don't see it in your notes.
Is there a little bit of lemon?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
A little bit of a citrus?
Citrusy for sure. And it's not orange. So maybe it is lemon. Sugary, baking spice, apple pie, clove, hints of maple.
There's definitely a good amount of baking spices.
Smells good to me. Let's try it on the palate.
Let's do it.
It's got a spiciness to it. Unless that's the 100 proof.
I was going to say, it is bottled and bond, so it's 100 proof.
Yeah, so that's not spice. Okay, so everything we smelled on the nose just got amplified.
Yeah, and we don't get that very often.
No.
So many times the nose and the palate, definitely not vastly, maybe vastly different.
Some have been.
Definitely not a complete disconnect, but I don't think we've ever really had one that the palate mimics the nose amplified.
Yeah.
There's some cherry, some dark fruit of some kind. Definitely honey.
Yeah, there's like a whole basket of dark fruits. Dark, maybe some dried fruit. Yeah, the honey sweetness. There's
and that cherry is definitely present.
It's I don't know, buttery, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's got there's the wood. Like I want to call it oaky, but I don't know if this is oak. Maybe are the sherry casks that they're aged in, are they maple? Is it maple wood? I'm guessing. I don't know.
I would think they would be oak cask.
I haven't heard of anybody aging things in anything but oak.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I'm just
Except
picking up on the
Japanese
maple.
whiskey.
Yeah.
But this is definitely not.
Maybe I'm picking up on the maple flavor, and it's also kicking in at the same time as the wood flavor. And maybe I'm just getting confused that way. My palate gets pretty confused, much like my brain gets confused anytime there's math involved. That's good. That's good. Where did you?
It's got a real long finish.
It really is. Yeah, and it's got there's like cinnamon on the finish. It's got it retains that honey sweetness.
The caramel almost turns vanilla-y on the finish.
I'd agree with that. The caramel, I don't know if the caramel really sticks around. I think, it just goes straight to vanilla, which is not a bad thing, not to me. I'm a fan of it. What does it say here in your notes here? Long and complex. Well, I'd agree with that. Hints of vanilla, caramel, honey, cinnamon. Okay, all right. Dark roast coffee, nuts, and sea salt.
I was getting ready to say there's kind of a brininess on the finish.
On your notes here, on the palate, cornbread, cotton candy, and honey.
I'm a fan of all the above.
Yeah, definitely. Like I had some cornbread at Longhorn not Longhorn. Fuck.
Jack Stack.
Jack Stack. Yeah. It's like jalapeno cornbread.
Oh yeah.
And it's
good stuff.
So good. And I was a little bit worried maybe the oil that they had in the pan might have been some kind of tallow, some kind of beef fat or whatever, some kind of animal fat, because Jennifer can't handle that with the alpha gal thing. So it turns out it was just fine. But I don't even know why I brought that up. So anyway, it was really good. I'll always get that. Like their onion rings are really good. They're dipped in cornmeal, which doesn't happen a lot, but they fucking rock those onion rings.
They've got an amazing salmon.
I saw they had a blackberry salmon.
Blackberry or blackened?
I thought it had some kind of blackberry on it. I don't know. Had something to do with blackberry. But yeah, they did. They had 2 or 3 different salmons there, and J. Rieger Company has a.
There's the coffee.
Has a. I'll get the coffee here in a bit. All right. I'll look forward to it. I don't have a whole lot left in my dram, but they have a Jack Stack exclusive offering or whatever.
Really?
Like you can only get it at Jack Stack,
That's very cool.
and they use it for their cocktails that include it. Like I had they called it a family fashioned, which is it's just an old fashioned made with their stuff, and they're using the barrel aged cherries.
Man, that was a good looking
it was good.
scorched orange.
That scorched orange was dehydrated orange, like we have, that we have and that we use. And listener, if you want to check out the dehydrated citrus fruits that we use, just go to savortheburn.com/shop and scroll down, and you'll find some Amazon affiliate links to where we have them there in our shop, and you get some cool stuff. It helps the podcast out with a little bit of a commission. And you're helping to support small business with the people that make those things. But so they took that orange slice and they scorched the ever-loving shit out of it.
Did they do it there at tableside?
No, they did not. That would have been cool, but they didn't.
Damn it.
And I don't know if they smoked it too. They might have smoked it, but it was very, very similar to what West Bottoms Whiskey Company has, but they didn't have. It didn't taste like there was any chocolate bitters, and I'm not 100% sure if it was smoked. There was a bit of a smoky flavor to it, probably because of all that charred orange, but whatever. If you're in the Kansas City area, definitely go check it out. And they gave me a free piece of cake for my
cool.
my birthday.
Very cool.
Yeah, she offered us cake for dessert. He's like, you guys want us to bring in a cake? Any room for dessert? I'm like, no, I got cake back at home. Or I have birthday cake back at home. It's my birthday. And she's like, oh, well, I'll just give you a piece. Which one do you want? The triple chocolate fucking delicious cake or this carrot cake? And I went for the carrot cake. I've had it before
Very
and I really
nice.
like it. And I love chocolate, but I don't always eat carrot cake. I eat a lot of chocolate. Chocolate.
So I'm looking at the notes here on the Rieger family.
Yeah.
Jacob Rieger immigrated to America from Goritz, Austria,
wow.
Hungary, in 1877 with his wife Mary, son Alexander, and daughter Sally.
Sally.
When he arrived in America, Jacob's last name was actually Rizor,
Huh.
but like a lot of immigrants during that time, his last name was changed. After initially settling in Cincinnati, Jacob moved to Kansas City in early 1880s, where he opened a grocery store. In 1887, Jacob was on to his newest business venture, making booze. Jacob founded J. Rieger and Company at 1529 Genesee Street in Kansas City's West Bottoms neighborhood, directly across from the Livestock Exchange Building, as the home of the Livestock Exchange and Union Depot, the original train station. The West Bottoms was the central hub of KC at the time. The neighborhood sits on the Missouri-Kansas state line, and since Kansas enacted statewide prohibition in 1881, damn them,
You're right.
39 years before federal prohibition, the area was home to many saloons, brothels, casinos, liquor retailers, etc., that were patronized by residents from both sides of the state line. Because of all the booze that flowed there, the area became known as the wettest block in the world.
That sounds
I love it.
That sounds like a great fucking place to visit. Like in 10 years,
Brothels, saloons, casinos.
this dude got here from Austria-Hungary in 1877 with his whole family and decided we're just going to open up a grocery store.
3 years later.
Yeah, and then like within 7 years of that, he's like, we're going to make some booze. But that was after, what did it say, 1881? Yeah, right across the state line that they could probably smell from their front door. Like,
Yep.
I mean, he's like, you know what? I think we're going to start making money hand over fist. Let's open our own brewery here, a little distillery. Very cool. Smart man.
And then let's fast forward a little bit, reviving a legacy. It wasn't until April 2010, 90 years after the onset of Prohibition, that the idea for bringing back the historic distillery was dreamed up by Ryan Mabey, a Kansas City bartender who opened his bar, Manifesto, in the basement of the Rieger Hotel building the year prior. That was a great little establishment.
Yeah.
Fascinated by the history of the building, Ryan discovered its connection to the historic J. Rieger and Company distillery, and from that point was dead set on ensuring it was resurrected. In December 2010, Ryan partnered with chef Howard Hanna to open a new restaurant, aptly named the Rieger, on the main floor of the Rieger Hotel building. On opening night, Andy Rieger, who was at the time the only living Rieger of Jacob's bloodline, walked in to meet the owners and thank them for honoring his family's name through their restaurant.
Well, that's cool.
That's very cool. While Andy and Ryan's accounts of what happened next vary, what they both agree on is that after a brief introduction, Ryan casually said to Andy, "We should bring back the old distillery."
I like it.
And there's the tagline in that Bottled and Bond label. It's oh so good to be back. Maybe that's the complete thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think the
It says it's oh so good.
Okay.
Or it just says oh so good.
It wasn't until 2014, under the guidance of industry veteran Dave Pickerill, that the plan fully came to fruition, driving Andy to quit his job in Dallas and move back to KC to dive fully into the distillery. After securing a building in the historic East Bottoms neighborhood of Kansas City and following months of product formulation, the relaunch was ready. By October 2014, nearly 4 years after first meeting, Andy and Ryan had successfully relaunched the brand with the release of Rieger's Kansas City Whiskey. In 2021, our earliest barrels turned 6 years old and we're finally ready for bottling. That's cool because this bottle, Bottled and Bond, is actually listed as a no-age statement.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
So there actually
it.
is an age to it. On August 16th, 2021, we released Rieger's Bottled and Bond Straight Rye Whiskey, the first whiskey distilled in Kansas City since Prohibition. The following summer, our first Bottled and Bond Straight Bourbon was released in June 2022, also after 6 years of aging. Super, super cool.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a beautiful bottle. Your standard looking whiskey bottle, but it's got
great label on it.
Some kind of fluted accents here on the shoulder. Mm-hmm. The label, is beautiful with the gold. It's not gold leaf.
I mean, it's definitely that Art Deco, 1920s style,
and that kind of denim blue there, and KC Mo on the bottom. Lots of good information on the back. Whoa!
Had to throw in a little bit
City.
Of Tech 9.
Tecanina. Yeah, I'm still not picking up on the coffee notes. They're in your notes, and you picked up on it, but I did not pick up on it.
Get a little bit of a taste on there, and purposely leave your mouth open while you're tasting it to let it pull through the nose also. That's how, and that's the only way I'm getting a little bit of coffee. But if I actually take a smell on it with the mouth open so that it rolls across the palate,
I did
there's
that
a
too.
little bit there.
I did that too, but I didn't pick it up. I'm just getting a lot of that woodsy, sweet something. Like that woodsy, sweet kind of. There's some barley in there. Not so much the coffee, but that's all right. That's all right. I don't always pick up on everything that everybody else picks up on. Tipped the glass back and lost my headphones. And the finish, like we talked about it earlier, the finish is long. Mm-hmm. It's long. It's full. It really sticks to the palate on the finish. What did you have you done your rating? Mm-hmm. I saw you over there kind of working on it. What did you give on the nose?
I gave it a 4.
That's what I gave it. I gave it a 4 on the palate too.
So, such a good nose. The palate, I gave it 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
I probably dropped it down a little bit. Yes, it's got a lot of flavor to it.
There's just a lot going on.
It's very interesting. Mm-hmm. But with the 100 proof, and this is just a me thing, it was so hot. Yeah. That it distracted me from the rest of it. I'm not saying I really wish they'd drop it down to 80 because I don't. I think it would be a disservice to this spirit to drop it down to 80. That's where I'm at with that one. How about the finish?
Finish, I gave it 4.25.
I stuck to 4.
Excellent.
It's long. It's lingering. It's warm. Mm-hmm. It's still giving different notes of flavor on it. It's at a 4, it's well above average. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it. How about bottle presentation?
I gave it 4.5.
4.5.
There was no box, no tube or anything like that, but it's just a very classic, very Art Deco style bottle and label on it.
I kept it at a 4. I'm shrugging. I've given it like 3 shrugs, and I don't know why I gave it a 4. I don't know. It was good. It was. It's like first introduction here. Like
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I enjoy the look of it. Just sitting there in the bottle. I love the color. But, that's where I was.
I think for me, I gave it a 4.5. One part because I think it's well designed. The label is just a great looking label. But one of the things that I appreciate about it is it's not overly complex. It's very simple, which translates to when you're at the liquor store and you're just scanning the shelves and that it's very recognizable. It's got the in that dark denim blue label right in the middle. It's got the white crest shield of the J. Rieger logo, so it really stands out and pops. And then with the name right underneath there, kind of arced, Rieger. There's so many labels that I've seen out there that are great, gorgeous looking labels, but there's so much going on to them. There's so much detail on there that if you're just scanning the liquor shelves looking for something specific or just something that catches your eye, a lot of labels have so much going on, it just kind of becomes noise and it kind of becomes just a blur because there's not something to catch your attention.
Right.
This is a design that makes it stand out because it's a very recognizable label, and so without a whole lot of effort, you're going to be able to quickly pick it out on the shelf. That's all I got to say about that. Jenny.
Yeah, I have written down here, bottled and bond at 100 proof. This bourbon offers a wide variety of flavors from nose to lingering finish. If you enjoy your bourbon at a higher proof, grab yourself a bottle of this proudly made in KC bourbon whiskey from J. Rieger's.
I like it.
That's where I gave it my overall rating was an 8. Yours was
8 5/8.
8 5/8. Yeah. So I think we agree. It's very good. And this you got for your birthday?
Got it for my birthday.
Very cool.
So at this point, I've tried this bottled and bond bourbon, and I've tried the original J. Rieger's, which is a fantastic KC whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, now having this, I'm very curious to try its counterpart, the rye.
Yeah.
And then also try their monogram, which is this was about a $50 bottle. The monogram is about an $80 bottle. And then they also have a private stock. And that's about a $70 bottle, I think. Maybe 65, 70, somewhere in there.
Huh.
And off the top of my head, I don't remember what the differences are, but just recalling from what I've seen on the shelf, those are two I have not tried yet.
Yeah.
That are a little bit higher dollar, and I'm just kind of curious how they compare.
They might blow each other out of the water, and they might just be all fluff.
Maybe we circle back around at some point and
might be all show and no go.
Circle back around and do a flight.
Yeah.
All Riegers.
Yeah. I'm down for that. We have our flight boards. We have our Glencairn glasses.
Yes, sir.
And we will have our Riegers. I can bring the rye back, for the tasting, and I can maybe grab one of the other bottles, and you grab one of the other bottles, whatever.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Try to make it even, Steven. We'll see how it goes. Any final thoughts on this one?
I enjoyed this one, and with it being a hometown bottle,
yeah, KC proud, baby.
It kind of elevates it a little bit.
Go Riegs!
I'm also, if you haven't been, we should take a field trip to the distillery.
I've not been.
So
isn't it like right next door to KKFI?
No, that's down in Midtown. The Rieger's distillery is over by Knuckleheads.
Oh shit! Okay.
It's a big building, and if you've seen on any of the KC Whiskey Guild or any of the things, there's a new high-end cocktail restaurant that just recently opened called the Hey Hey.
The Hey Hey.
That is actually at the Rieger Distillery, and they have a spiral slide that goes from the top floor down to ground level, just like the haunted houses.
So speaking of the Whiskey Guild, I posted the picture that you
Yeah.
that you took for me. And Dewey says my favorite from Rieger. So this one here that we're trying tonight, the Rieger Straight Bourbon Whiskey. He says it's his favorite. Dan says pretty much the same thing. The best one from Rieger. Andrew says never had a Rieger's He says never had a Rieger's I've liked. Hope it's good. Be sure to report back. So that might be the only negative. Actually, we got another negative kind of coming up down here in a second. Marlon says good stuff. Had one at Jack Stack's. And Christopher says Holiday is better than Rieger. And Andrew that said that he didn't like it replied to Christopher's comment and says all day and twice Sunday. So I don't think I've had Holiday. Maybe it is better.
We have not.
So we'll have to try that out.
The Ben Holiday is actually up at the old, I guess it's technically still the McCormick Distillery.
Okay.
But that's where Ben Holiday now is in Weston.
And
I'm dying to get up there too because I've heard they've got some special distillery picks that are available only there.
I also shared this in the Whiskey Tribe group. If you're a fan of Whiskey Tribe on YouTube, then you already know. If you don't know, definitely go check that channel out. They got a lot of great content,
great stuff,
funny stuff, informative stuff. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I've got a comment on here. It says I've not had a bad Rieger's, always solid. I'd be interested to know how it is. My sister lives up there and picks me up their stuff. Cheers. So it seems like people are interested in what we think about it. But definitely glad that I got to try it. Thank you for sharing your birthday present
Absolutely.
with me. I really enjoy it.
We have tried the Boulevardier a few different times, but this is the first time going off of Rieger's preferred recommendation. A Boulevardier is equal parts bourbon or rye, sweet vermouth, and Campari. So we took the part Campari and did a 50-50 of Campari and Aperol, which should sweeten it up a little bit.
Right. So when you said half and half, you don't mean creamer.
Do not mean creamer.
Good. Yeah, and you found this on their website.
Found this right off their website. I figured if we're giving this one the full J. Rieger's treatment,
yeah,
let's take their recipe and run with it. And what I liked about this was a couple different things are very different. Not very different, but a couple things are different from what we've done in the past. So in the past, we've done our Boulevardier equal parts spirit, sweet vermouth, Campari.
Yeah.
And then we've garnished it in the past with an orange twist. This one, for the Campari, we do a 50-50 mixture of Campari and Aperol.
Yeah.
And then the garnish is actually a full, fresh sliced orange.
Yep. Not that dehydrated business.
Nope. So because of that, I took full advantage of that. And before I garnished it down against the inside of the glass in the large cube, I did a little bit of just a slight squeeze to it to give a little bit of that orange citrus into our drink.
I'm looking forward to it. It's beautiful. It looks better than it does on the internet.
The red is just so impactful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's savor the burn this down the hatch.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's good. What a classy drink.
Yeah. This will forever change how I make my Boulevardiers.
This is like you walk into a speakeasy where chicks in long dresses are smoking the cigarettes on those long sticks.
Right.
You know, whatever those things are called. Like there's somebody in the back, the back corner playing cards, playing poker. Someone
on the piano.
Tinkling on the keys. Not with his own personal rents, but with his hands. That's a little something I came up with in my head on the spot.
A little low light.
Yeah.
Ambiance.
Mm-hmm. The waiter looks like the bartender from The Shining. ready to take your order. Only hopefully there's no Jack Torrance, hanging around, ready to chase you into the maze. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Wendy, darling, light of my life, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your fucking brains in.
Love it. Did you ever see the Dr. Sleep? Dude,
I didn't watch the whole thing. So it's like The Shining 2.
It is.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
With Ewan McGregor, right?
Ian McGregor is little Jack grown up.
Was that his name, the little boy?
Was it?
I don't remember. Let me hit the Danny.
Danny, that's it. Hello, Mrs. Torrance.
Yeah, so it's little Danny Torrance all grown up.
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, it's done very well, and it's a great continuation. Might have to watch that sometime here in the.
I'm gonna have to. That's. I mean, not that any month is more, perfect for scary, horror stuff for me. But this one most especially.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, it's the most wonderful time of the year. When you got all the family coming in. And you're dealing with family more and more. You wanting to deal with work less and less.
Less and less.
And the weather's getting colder. The days are getting shorter, and you're really feeling like you just all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Man, I'm enjoying this.
This is winter blues, but yeah, this is a good cocktail to break that fucking habit. This is really good.
So I pulled off of their. The Rieger website has a lot of information on there, and when you go to their spirits page, because they do a lot of different things. They actually have a vodka. They've got a Cafe Amaro, which is it's a liqueur. I think they also have a gin, but they have all their spirits, and then at the very bottom they have their cocktail recipes, like all the other distilleries have. But this Boulevardier is one of them. And so I pulled off of there a cousin to the gin-based Negroni. The bourbon-based Boulevardier was created during Prohibition by Harry McElhone, famed bartender and founder of Harry's New York bar in Paris.
All right.
This simple, boozy, and bittersweet cocktail was also known for being the signature drink of
Erskine Gwynn,
yep.
I have no idea. I'm just interjecting here as you're reading. I'm sorry.
Who was the nephew of railroad tycoon Alfred Vanderbilt.
Wow, okay.
Gwynn edited a monthly magazine in Paris named, you guessed it, the Boulevardier.
Okay,
so you go.
Right before you dove into that little paragraph there of a lot of cool information, I noticed either you or we switched from calling it the Boulevardier to the Boulevardier.
I have started to call it that just because asking a few people, and actually Kate and I were talking not too long ago, and she also interjected that as well. So I've had a couple other people recently that have said, yeah, Boulevardier.
Okay. Well, I'd rather say it that way than all, Raytown as fuck. Because, sometimes my Sugar Creek DNA kicks in a little too hard and I'm ready to throw corn dogs at it and, pronounce it wrong. But so we both had a few sips off of this. But, just looking at the fucking thing, like...
even now
if
the
you
glasses...
see somebody drinking this from the other side of the room, you're going to want one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a gorgeous color.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of ruby red meets pumpkin orange.
It's beautiful, and it's the color is even highlighted and kind of refracted a little bit by these cocktail glasses that you got. And speaking of the cocktail glasses, dear listener, if you're interested in checking out the cocktail glasses that we're talking about, and maybe even interested in getting some for yourself, just go to savorthebird.com/shop. Scroll down and you'll see the cocktail glasses there. You'll click on the Amazon link, and should you buy them, you get some cool glasses, a small business somewhere makes a little money, and Savor the Burn gets a little bit of a commission from the sale, and that is greatly appreciated. Along with your following on all of our socials and your sub to our YouTube.
Yes.
But anyway, that's just a short little aside. So back to it. This is a beautiful cocktail. It smells great, tastes great, finishes great. I don't have any problems with this sumbitch right here. I'd say this would probably be a great contender for your new standard cocktail, much like the old fashioned. For me, it's kind of your standard cocktail. It's simple, simple ingredients. You can overthink it if you want to, just fucking don't. This one here, it's got a couple ingredients in it that is a little more involved, or they're no less hard to find than bitters or whatever. And you said some of these are bitters.
Technically, a Campari is
a bitter,
is classified as a bitter.
Wow,
It is in the
much bigger bottle.
Bitters family. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. So the last time we did a Boulevardier was with Chandler with that Whistle Pig rye. Being a rye versus a bourbon makes it a little bit different. But the last time we did this cocktail, we did it in our coupe glass.
Okay.
And then we garnished it with an orange twist on top of it. This one, going right off the recipe, unlike so many other recipes that we've encountered, the photography in our agenda here, I pulled right off of Rieger's website.
Yeah.
They used the right glassware, but this is in our cocktail glass.
Yeah.
And so I did it in our new double round cocktail glass with a large cube in there. So before we would have made it in the coupe glass, strained into that chilled glass, no ice. Here, because we're in a cocktail glass, we are using a single large cube.
I think using the large cube in the cocktail glass is better for the Boulevardier. I think classically it should be served in that coupe. If you don't freeze your coupe,
you must be a poop.
You must be a poop. Then your mother's oranges are shriveled. If you don't know what we're talking about, you guys got to check out the Salty Whale.
Thirsty Whale.
A Thirsty Whale. What the fuck am I thinking? Salty Whale. That sounds like a bad seafood restaurant you don't want to go to. But yeah, the Thirsty Whale on TikTok and Instagram, probably YouTube. Definitely check them out. Lots of great content. Funny as can be. But the way this cocktail is served here with the glass or with the big lump of ice, I think it helps mellow out some of those strong flavors as it ever so slightly melts.
And plus making it with the half Campari, half Aperol for that part of it, I think also helps sweeten it up a little bit. So it kind of helps cut a little bit of the bitterness that you would typically get from just straight Campari.
It also looks like on this recipe here, it says 1 ounce Campari and then in parentheses 50-50 Campari Aperol. So it makes me think that's an option.
Right.
Like if you want to go 50-50, you can, but the recipe just calls for 1 ounce Campari.
Well, and most other recipes for a Boulevardier is equal parts spirit, sweet vermouth, Campari.
Okay.
The Rieger preferred method is the 50-50 Campari Aperol for that piece of it.
I think Rieger's got the right idea. It's almost like they do the research and they know what the fuck they're doing.
I mean,
and
this drinks well.
Using this bottled and bond, 100 proof, it's the perfect proof for a cocktail like this.
100%.
You can taste the straight bourbon whiskey in this. Everything that it brought to the table in our review, the vanilla, the caramel, the the kind of oaky sweet, everything that's going on with it. Not so much the cotton candy. I never did pick up on that. And you said it was coffee. You were picking up on coffee.
A little bit.
I never did pick up on that. But this one here, it's boozy, bourbon boozy. It's bittersweet, like the description said online, and it's citrusy. It's beautiful in the cocktail glass. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to try this, unless of course they're a poop.
And then they clearly would not be freezing their...
They would not be freezing their coop because they would be a poop. And they wouldn't use any saline either. Because you want to use saline... Oh, inside
Man.
jokes for those
Man.
for those that know, but for those that don't know, I'm going to say it again. Check out the Thirsty Whale.
Yeah.
Just look them up, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Finish listening to this, but then
Right after this.
Right
after this.
Go look up the Thirsty Whale.
Don't touch that dial. What are your thoughts on this? What do you got on the nose?
Again, for me, cocktails always kind of take a hit on the nose just because it's a cocktail. Mm-hmm. Unless you've got a cocktail that has something that actually grabs your nostrils as you're going in for that
In a
drink.
good way.
In a good way.
You don't want it to smell like a girl with a funky dance floor. No, you want it's got to smell good.
You know, it's
Keep
just,
this a family show.
dear listener.
Dear listener.
I always give the nose a little bit of a hit, just because this one I didn't really find much of a nose on. I still gave it a 3 3/4.
I gave it a 4 because I do find a good nose on it. I mean, you can
That
pick up
orange
on
that orange slice really
the
becomes a very
major player on the nose. You can pick up on the bittersweet with the Aperol and Campari, and just a little bit, light, kind of boozy, bourbon smell out of it. I don't know. I think it was firing on all cylinders. It didn't wow me. That's why it didn't get a 5, but it definitely hit everything I was looking for. On the palate, I gave it a 4.5.
I gave it 4 3/4.
4 3/4. So you're closer to wow than I was. This is a solid 4.5 or 4.5, 4 3/4. You'd be hard pressed to find a better, like new, what did I call it? Staple, new standard. With the Riegers anyway.
Right.
We've had the Boulevardier with other spirits. Whistle Pig. With this Riegers though, chef's kiss. It's really good. That's why I gave it the 4.5. I also gave it a 4.5 on the finish.
As Henry would say, mwah, delish.
Delish.
What'd you give it on finish?
4.5.
Well, boy howdy, 4.5.
We met eye to eye on something?
We did.
Finally. Are you going to give yourself a 5 on presentation?
I gave myself a 4 3/4.
4 3/4. No. Even when we were taking pictures of these things, there was still frost on the glass. Like you planned it out, dude. Like you planned it out for the photos to look good.
I tried.
There was still frost on the
really
glass
tried.
after they had been poured. You had the ice up there, buoyant with the orange, kind of wedged in there in place, and with the bottle in the background over there in the photo studio. Over there, it looked good, dude. It looked good. Are you looking at the pictures now?
Yeah.
On the tail end of the finish, there's even a honey sweet on the palate. I really love it.
I agree with that.
So for my total, I gave it a 9.
All right, my total came in at 8 7/8.
8 7/8 is really close to 9.
Not going to get much closer.
So I wrote down on here, and you may have a differing opinion. The Rieger Straight Bourbon Whiskey Boulevardier is a solid title contender for a new standard in cocktails. Every flavor is married and balanced with precision. This cocktail is a must try.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do too. That's a beautiful picture you got there. I mean, if let's say it's your standard metal night at where was Bob's Bizarre Bazaar? The Westport Flea Market.
Bowery.
Yeah, Westport Bowery. Yeah.
Yep.
So
or the flea market.
Yeah, the flea. It's on the other side of the building. It's on the back side of the building. The Bowery is from the Westport Flea Market. And if you guys don't know about Bob's Bizarre Bazaar, just Google it. I'm not going to get into serial documentary and chill right now. But if you're in there and it's metal night and there's technical death metal or thrash, any kind of groove happening, and you look across the room and you see somebody drinking this Boulevardier, you're going to want one too. I'd like to see more hands holding a Boulevardier in the future.
Amen, sister.
Our friend Janelle Dickerson, she said that her brother has been coming over to her place, or she's been going over to his place, and he's been mixing cocktails for her. And so if she doesn't end up with this Rieger Straight Bourbon Whiskey Boulevardier,
that'd make her a poop.
And do what?
I said that'd make her a poop.
Why? You don't think she's freezing her coop?
I'm kidding.
Right. Yeah, we love you, Janelle. Anyway, so if anybody wants to know who she is, she's a fan and a friend to to us here in the Savor the Burn, and also with the Burn the Gates.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm bringing up the
metal.
the Westport Bowery because Burn the Gates had a show there this year in 2023, and we rocked it, but it was a different kind of rocking it than some of our other friends that played that night. There was what was it? Lucy.
Last of Lucy.
They were incredible.
Man, they were awesome.
And there was also Gourmand. There's one more band.
Yeah, I know those guys. Oh, it was Discordia and Withermoth.
Withermoth. Okay, Withermoth, Discordia.
Withermoth was the other local band.
Yeah.
Those guys were so good.
Yeah, Withermoth, they played before us. They opened the show, then Burn the Gates, then Gourmand, and then Discordia, and then Last of Lucy, No, it was Last of Lucy and then Discordia.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that show. We got there, and we thought, yeah, we're going to go grab a burger. We go over there, and we eat, and I as we were eating, I heard the first band fire up. And I thought two things. I thought, oh shit, we're gonna be late. We're late. Like, we need to go in there. So come on, let's hurry up and eat the shit and get in there. Two, oh shit, I'm really full, and I'm gonna have to take the stage here pretty soon and jump around. Gotta go poop. And then, but no, I'm gonna have to jump around like I had Jack Alf house cat with a full stomach like this, and it's not gonna go well. Right?
No, thank you.
Plus, there's the bartender, faking her way through making cocktails. Bless her heart. There was a short list of cocktails that they had, but they just weren't that great.
No.
You want a whiskey and Coke? I'm like, not really.
They didn't really have any whiskey cocktails on their menu.
They did not. It was mostly...
Which is why you got the,
like,
I
vodka
can make a whiskey and Coke.
Yeah. That's all right. Whatever. It was a good night. Any final thoughts here on the Boulevardier featuring Rieger's Straight Bourbon Whiskey?
It's good.
Your final thoughts are involving that orange slice you cut.
I mean, there's just nothing like fresh orange.
Fresh orange. It's like a sore dick.
You just can't beat it.
Well, dear listener, thanks for sticking around through the entirety of this episode. If you made it this far, we thank you. We're always thankful that you're listening to the Savor the Burn podcast, and we definitely want to know what you think. So shoot us an email, info@savortheburn.com. Shoot me an email, jonathan@savortheburn.com, or w2@savortheburn.com. We'll be happy to hear from you. And thanks again for checking us out on all our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. As always, definitely thank you for listening to us on your podcast app of choice. In the past, we've had some go away. Rest in peace, Stitcher. But we're always happy that the ones that are here are still here, and we've always had the capacity to be thankful for the ones that were there when they were there. So with that in mind, no matter who you are, where you are, who you're with, what you're doing, what you're fucking drinking, always remember, dear listener, keep on burning.